Well, hi guys, hope you're all well. Probably know it's not been about much. That was basically due to me replacing my graphic card. And yeah, this one seems to be a lot better so far. This video is going to be basically my thoughts on the upcoming skill tree revamp. Um, yeah, difficult. In some ways it's going to be pretty cool, because like I've said, you're only going to need to get a singular mech. You're not going to need to have um, all the mechs going, like, you want 3 mechs to be able to skill one up kind of thing. It's not going to be a thing anymore, which is cool. But looking at the costs of some of the skill trees, etc., it's gonna be quite punishing if you've got a lot of mechs. If, like myself, you've played since the beta and you've spent money on the game with the various packs of mechs, and you've kept all of them, which I haven't, to be honest. If you'd kept all of them and you'd maxed them all out with the XP to unlock all the different traits, which obviously didn't take particularly long to do, but you had to do it 3 times. You're not going to be necessarily happy with the upcoming changes, because if you've got set loadouts that you don't want to change on a particular mech, you are going to have to do each mech individually, and it's looking like it's going to be really quite expensive to do so. Yeah, like really quite expensive. I think we're getting a refund money wise for modules. But that said, if you've got like 160 odd mechs, like I know some people have, especially some of what they call the whales, the people that put a lot of money into the game, and, a lot of them might have pretty much every mech in the game. If they want to get those mechs back to the state they're currently in now, skill tree wise and or module wise, it's going to take an awful lot of time for them. It's putting a lot of people off, as you can imagine. I have to admit, it's kind of put me off getting the Supernova. Is it the Supernova, the new clan assault that's come out? I've had my eye on it for a while because I do like playing the assaults, but I've decided to hold back. I'm going to essentially wait until it all comes out, which I believe is the 21st of March this month. I'm going to have a look at it, and then I'm going to make a decision as to whether I'm going to devote a lot of time to this game or other games, because there's other games that I obviously play. You can probably guess this by my lack of skill at this game, shall we say, because I do devote a lot more of my time to other games. That said, I do really enjoy this game, and I hope this doesn't really ruin it. I can see it putting a lot of people off, really understandably. And my freaking zoom button still doesn't work. I want to use that one instead, which is not in a good place. I'm going to have to move that zoom button. But no, it's potentially got some problems coming up, but we'll have to see what actually happens when it all goes live. I mean, they've said that the PTR's version, which is at the moment, is what's staying. Even if you guys look at any of the forums, you'll see that people are not happy about that. So we'll have to see what actually ends up being the case when it does genuinely go live, whether there's any sort of last minute tweaks that we don't know about that they're just going to do and put out there. But yeah, from what I can make out, the quirks are getting removed from all mechs, and all that type of shenanigans is getting baked into the skill trees. So potentially certain mechs are going to become rather overpowered again. I can see clan mechs getting hit with a nerf bat yet again, because obviously it will affect them a lot more. It's going to be interesting times for this game, let's put it that way. That's probably the politest way of putting it. Yeah, I hope it doesn't ruin the game. I really do, guys, because I spent a lot of hours on this game. Maybe not so many recently, because I've been distracted by other games like Overwatch, etc. and Warcraft and things, but I don't want to see this game fail. I mean, I know they're bringing out a single-player game, which will be badass, especially if they use a lot of the models from this. I mean, they've kind of already got half of it there for them, really, which would be kind of cool. But, yeah, you don't... I don't know. I'm just trying not to be one of the jaded old farts. It's like, oh no, ruin the game. But it's kind of difficult not to sometimes when, you know, I don't particularly want to spend an absolute ton of time playing this just to get back what I already had. Because, like I say, I do have other games I want to play, and do play and enjoy a lot. Oh, look, a missile boat. And why is it hitting my legs? Interesting. Especially given the shape of this particular mech, but there you go. I just cannot get my groove today. I got hit out of a barn, apparently. Love it. We're getting rather split up, so I'm going to go with this big group. But no, it's going to, in some ways for newer players, I can see it being kind of cool because it's going to level the playing field a bit for everybody. So everybody's, you know, in some ways going to be back to square one with a lot of things, which can be cool but can be equally frustrating as well. Because, you know, people who've spent years of their lives playing this game, you know, obviously they're still going to have the skill advantage because, you know, that's how it works. But they're not going to have a lot of what they've invested a lot of time in. You can see how that's going to frustrate people. So, lots of opinions going about on the old, well, Twitter, etc., Reddit, wherever you care to look, the official forums if you're brave enough to venture there. It's lots of angry people. I can't say I blame them, really. But, you know, I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't seem as dark as it does. I just have to see what actually ends up happening, I guess, but, yeah. Trying to be optimistic. And all that's left is the lights. Yay. And I'm not in a mech that's particularly good at hitting small, fast-moving mechs. So yeah, this is not going to end well for me. Could hit that though. Nice. How did that work? I'm sure I hit him, but apparently not. Shot right over his head. Oh, great. And down I go. not ideal weaponry to be using when fighting something so small, with better pinpoint weapons. But yeah, that appears to be the state of the game at the moment. Big old reset button for everybody. Quirks baked into the skill trees. Certain mechs are going to get hit hard with it, some mechs are going to become OP with it. It's going to be, yeah, interesting. We'll have to see what it actually translates to when it all goes live, and the masses get to play it and not just those that ventured onto the PTR. I was going to, but I started getting problems with the graphic card. Swapped it all out, and then I'd lost interest in actually going to the PTR at that point because I'd already seen the forums and I was like, yeah, I don't think I really wanna try that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now. And it didn't record because